Hi kids, I'm Kiyaman, and for today's Bible story, we will be talking about the time when God spoke to Jacob. Ready? Let's hop into it. The people in the city of Shechem were really surprised to see Jacob and his family settle outside their city. Jacob and his family lived in tents, as if they would not stay long in this place. But they had bought a piece of land where their tent stood. When the children sneaked close to Jacob's tents, they saw something they had never seen in their city. It was an altar for rough stones, put together to make a sort of table with a flat stone on top. But they could not see any figure of God or any other symbol, just the stones. Could you explain to the children of Shechem what the altar was for? Do you remember the name of the altar? Yes, Mighty is the God of Israel. With this name, Jacob wanted to say that his God was the only God, a mighty God. But would Jacob always stay in Shechem? Had he not promised to go to Bethel? Did he not want to go home and see his father? One night, Jacob awoke from his sleep. He heard a voice calling him, "Jacob, Jacob." "Yes, Lord," Jacob answered. "Go up to Bethel and stay there. Build an altar to God who appeared to you there when you were fleeing from your brother Esau." As soon as Jacob had heard the voice of the Lord, his heart was at peace. Yes, he would return to Bethel as he had promised the Lord, to build an altar. Then Bethel would be a place where people would worship God. But before Jacob and his family could go to Bethel, something else needed to be done. Jacob knew that the Lord was holy. He was the only God and did not allow people to worship any other gods beside him, the living God. Only those with pure hearts and clean hands could come to pray to him and worship him. Jacob had found out that Rachel had stolen the gods of her father and still had them in her tent. Surely there were others who had brought idols and fetishes from Haran to Canaan too. God hated all those idols and fetishes, which prevented Jacob's family from praying to God alone and trusting fully in him. The next evening, Jacob called all the members of his family. When they had all gathered, Jacob began to speak to them. "Listen to me, all of you. Very soon we will fold up our tents and move on to Bethel. That is the place where I rested the first night after I had fled from my brother Esau. God talked to me there. In Bethel, I will build an altar for God who helped me when I was in great trouble. I promised God that I would build a place for the worship of God if He brought me back to Canaan safely. God is a holy God. He does not allow us to have any foreign gods with us. He hates idols and will not bless our family if we still hide idols in our tents. Therefore, before we go, throw away all foreign gods, all idols, and everything else that you keep to protect you. You don't need them anymore because God is able to protect you, as you have seen. Bring all your idols to me. I will bury them under that big oak tree over there. You must also clean yourselves up, change your clothes before we go to Bethel." That was a long speech Jacob made. If you had been Joseph that evening, what would you have remembered? Jacob's family understood. They returned to their tents to get the things they had brought. Haran to protect them. Rachel brought the gods she had stolen from her father's house. The women also took off their golden earrings and brought them all to Jacob. Jacob had a hole dug under the oak tree, and he buried all those things. The next morning, they washed themselves, changed their clothes. They already felt so much cleaner after throwing away their idols. Now, they wanted their bodies and their clothes to be clean too. Yes, God was a holy God. They could now worship Him with all their heart without fear. That same day, the tents were taken down and loaded on the camels' backs. The flocks were driven together. Jacob and his family left Shechem to go to Bethel. They were eager to see the place where God had spoken to their father in a beautiful dream. When they came through a village or a settlement, the people would stand at the side of the road. Nobody did them any harm because all those people knew in their hearts that a mighty God protected the strangers passing through their area. Finally, they all came to Bethel. The stone Jacob had set up as a pillar was still there, and he used it to build the altar. Then once more, he told them the story of his long journey from the beginning to the end. Everybody listened and learned how to trust God. Then they all worshipped him. At Bethel, God came to Jacob again and spoke to him. He promised him once more that all the land around him would one day belong to him and to his children. After worshipping at the new altar Jacob had built in Bethel, it was finally time to go home to Isaac. But before they got there, when they were close to the city of Bethlehem, something very sad happened. Rachel gave birth. After she had given birth to a little boy, she died. How sad this was for the whole family. Little Joseph had a baby brother whom his father named Benjamin, but he no longer had a mother. They stopped to bury Rachel. Jacob built a beautiful gravestone so that Rachel, whom he had loved very much, would be remembered for a long time. Finally, they came home to meet Isaac, the grandfather. That was a wonderful, joyous meeting. Rebekah had died, and that made Jacob sad. But his father comforted him. Isaac enjoyed all his 13 grandchildren, including little Benjamin. We can be sure he blessed him and Joseph in a special way. Isaac lived for 12 more years, and Jacob lived close to him. Then one day, the Lord called Isaac home. Together, Esau and Jacob buried him in the same tomb where Abraham, Sarah, and Rebekah had been buried. So that's it for today's Bible story. And for our review questions. Number 1. When we look at Jacob and his family, where are they? Number 2. When Jacob's family threw away their idols, what happened to them? Here is our memory verse. It can be found in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 41. Let us lift up our hearts and our hands to God in heaven. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 41. Let's say it again. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 41. Let us lift up our hearts and our hands to God in heaven. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 41.
I love how this graph captures Jacob's response. He wants to mark this place as holy, mark the experience, and promise with something tangible. The practice of marketing things with stones or piles of stones is well practiced in many cultures. To make this graph, you will need a pair of scissors, glue, and some packing cards. No need to print this on thicker paper or card as you will need to pack it anyhow. Result of our art. So, thanks for watching. Bye.